few years ago, you collapsed. What happened?
7 years ago, I collapsed from exhaustion, burnout, sleep deprivation. I hit my head on the way down, broke my cheekbone, got 4 stitches on my right eye. And it was really the beginning of this journey for me to redefine what success is and what is a good life. You know, as philosophers say, what is a good life? And unfortunately, our culture all around the world now has shrunken the definition of a good life just to these 2 metrics of success, money and power. And I began to feel that this was like trying to sit on a 2-legged stool. Sooner or later, you fall off. You need that 3rd metric of success, which is like the 3rd leg of the stool, and which consists of these 4 pillars: well-being, wisdom, wonder, and giving. And well-being, you know, is obvious, and yet so many successful people sacrifice their health on the way to succeed. And we have the connection between sleep deprivation and exhaustion and high blood pressure and heart disease and depression and anxiety. And now we have all this modern science that validates ancient wisdom about the importance of renewal. The second thing, wisdom, has so much to do with bad decision making. If we are not connected with the wisdom inside us, if we haven't taken time to unplug and recharge. Wonder, you know, life is full of wonder and joy and happiness. We know that in our Latin American culture, the Greek culture, and yet so often we just forget to even notice it. And finally, giving. You know, giving is just an integral part of happiness.
Those are the 4 pillars of a good life.
Yeah, of the 3rd metric of a good life. You know, nothing against money and influence and power. It's just that by themselves, they are not enough. We need that 3rd metric.
But you also are very vehement about sleeplessness, about the need to sleep more. Tell me about that.
Well, because we see in the latest scientific findings that sleep is like a miracle drug. It improves our immune system. It reduces stress. It makes it easier for us to deal with all adversity, the challenges that life is full of. And yet our culture has kind of glamorized sleep deprivation. People brag about working 24/7, which science now shows is the equivalent of coming to work drunk. And in the same way that we don't let truck drivers get behind the wheel of a car if they haven't slept enough, we shouldn't let people make important decisions, including in politics, if they haven't gotten enough sleep.
You have examples of that?
Yes, well, Bill Clinton himself, you know, he said, and I quote him in the book, that he said, the most important mistakes I made when I was tired. You know, he did not specify what mistakes, but I think we can all identify. You know, I can say that the most important hiring mistakes I made when I was tired and just trying to get through my to-do list.
But people feel that in order, the modern life requires more intensity, more hours, more dedication, that people don't have time to sleep 8 hours a day.
You know, first of all, not everybody needs 8 hours a day. Everybody needs to find out how much sleep they need to operate at their best. I need 8 hours, and I get it now, and I find I'm more effective and more productive. This is not against intensity. I would say I'm a pretty intense person. This is about energy versus time. What matters is the quality of the energy we bring into what we're doing. It's not about time. You know, you can sit at your desk for hours and be completely unproductive. The important thing is, can you be fully present in what you're doing so that you can bring the best of what you have to any task that you're engaged in?
In the book, Thrive, you also talk about 12 steps. Give us an examples of a few of them.
Okay, let me give you just 3 quick examples. The first is, wherever you are now, however much sleep you get now, unless you're getting all the sleep you need, start by getting 30 minutes more tonight. You know, 30 minutes. I'm not saying going from 4 hours to 8. Anybody can find 30 minutes more and begin to see the impact it has on how you feel, on the decisions you make, on your level of happiness and stress. Another point is, at the end of a day, take all your devices and turn them off and gently escort them out of your bedroom. The science is pretty conclusive that if you charge your phone by your bed, very likely you're going to wake up at night for whatever reason and you're going to be tempted to look at your data. And if you look at your data, your sleep isn't going to be as recharging. A lot of the reason why people have trouble sleeping or staying asleep is because they can't quieten their minds. And the third point, the third step, has to do with learning to quieten the mind. Introduce like 5 minutes of meditation or prayer, whatever you want to call it, into your day so that you learn to quieten the mind.
You have talked about the obnoxious, demanding other person that you have in your mind, telling you very obnoxious things. Tell us about that.
Well, first of all, women have it more strongly than men. I call it the obnoxious roommate living in my head. It's the voice of self-doubt, the voice of fear, of anxiety. It's the voice that takes us out of the present. Because when we're in the present, we can deal with whatever it is that life brings us. It's when we are in the past, judging what happened, or in the future, worrying about what it may happen, that we find ourselves at a loss, stressed and anxious.
What do you tell to a woman that tells you, that's easy for you to say, you are wealthy, you're powerful, you have employees, you have people that do things for you. I have to work all day, I have to leave my home early and help the children get ready for school. I work all day, then I come back home and I have to prepare dinner, clean the house, and I go to sleep very late at night. And so aren't you just prescribing things that only people that are wealthy can do?
No, on the contrary. Everything I'm saying in the book applies to everyone, whether you are struggling to put food on the table or lost your job, or whether you're at the top of the world, juggling multiple demands on your time. Because really, the more challenging and difficult your life, the more you need your own resilience. The difference between people who survive very difficult times and those who don't is how resilient are they? How can they deal with discouragement? And that depends on how connected are you with a source of strength, wisdom, and peace inside yourself. I mean, even in concentration camps, we had people who were able to tap into that part of themselves, and others who didn't. So this is not about the successful. This is about everyone, wherever they find themselves in life.
Arianna Huffington is the author of Thrive, a book about how to live the good life at a time in which we have so many demands that distract us and create conditions that are not healthy. Thank you so much, Arianna.
Thank you so much. Thank you.